Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. Okay, so just to preface this, the part of the video that we are reacting to today is only just going to be like the first 30 seconds of it because that is the only pertinent part of the video to the topic that I want to discuss. I do encourage you, go check out the rest of this video. Tailosive Tech is probably my favorite tech YouTuber out there. I know. I love him. He's hilarious. He's great. Go check out his video. It's about the iPad mini having a smart connector. But the intro of this video caught me by surprise. Not really. I just found it really interesting. Funny backstory, I was watching this video. My wife heard it, he's like, oh babe, he's getting you. Just because, you know, I totally disagree about what he says about the iPad Pro. And I want to show you what he says about the iPad Pro and just kind of give you my thoughts about that. Drew, if you're watching this, I love your channel. Let's talk. You ready?
Guys, I'm really happy to say this, but I think the iPad Mini 6 is the most exciting iPad of the year. Mini LED M1 chip, nah, come on, too expensive. The iPad is an iPad and it's never gonna be more than that.
He's really funny. So, starting out, he's saying the iPad Mini 6, the new one, the one coming out this year that is essentially going to be a even smaller version of the new 10.9-inch iPad Air, which is just kind of a knockoff of the 11-inch iPad Pro from 2018. So we're gonna have, you know, the little iPad Mini 6. And it's gonna have might have a smart connector on the back. So that's gonna be the more interesting iPad over this new M1 iPad Pro, the mini LED on the 12.9-inch and all that. And the reason he's saying that is because whenever these iPads came out, were announced in April, everybody was just like, okay, wait a couple more months. WWDC, these iPads are going to get just the best software update ever. These things are going to become the next laptops, the next computers. These things are going to rock. Come WWDC, that didn't happen. Everybody was disappointed. I was so disappointed. iPad OS was probably the least talked about update on WWDC. It was the most boring one in my opinion. Tailosive himself even called it the sleeper one of WWDC 21. And maybe COVID had something to do with everybody working from home. Maybe other stuff, I don't know. But you know what? Here we are. But because of this, he said in a few of his other videos that because of this, the iPad will never become a laptop replacement. It'll only just be what it is. It'll only just be a tablet with a software that's limiting. I disagree. Okay, let's get into a little bit more of the video, just this last part of the intro, and then I'll continue on my thoughts.
And because of that, we should probably focus on making the iPad more of a value product, not so much a $2,000 laptop replacement that can't be a laptop. Except on the subject of 2-in-1s, it sounds like the iPad Mini 6 may be rocking a smart connector. Let's begin.
Okay, so literally 30 seconds into the video. That's all I'm talking about today. He's saying that the laptop should become now more of a value thing than a $2,000 laptop replacement. What if it's not a laptop replacement? What if that's never what Apple wanted it to be? I've said this in other videos. What if this is just a second option? You have the Mac line, you have the line that does crazy stuff, you have the Crocs with the strap on, you have the sports mode all the time, and then you have this 2-in-1 that can get up to $2,000. But if it's not a laptop replacement, and you're choosing between one or the other, get the iPad Pro. You get the iPad Pro, and you have the Magic Keyboard. You get the lower spec iPad Pro. You know, spend $1,300. Granted, it's not going to be as highly spec'd out as the MacBook, but you are getting a tablet and a laptop. You're getting both because, you know, 2-in-1. I know it's expensive, and I wish it wasn't expensive. $350 freaking dollars for the Magic Keyboard is outrageous. Please get your Magic Keyboard on eBay. I will link one in the description below. Yeah, if you get your Magic Keyboard from eBay, I got my wife's 11-inch one for $150 instead of $300. So I saved half, and it was in basically brand new condition. It came with the box. It's hanging on the wall over here. So, yeah. Okay, iPad OS 15 is not what anybody expected, and it was announced past the return date, so that means that people who bought the iPad cannot return it within that 2-week window once they heard about iOS 15 because it was just out of that. iPad OS 15. So everybody was disappointed, everybody was pissed at Apple, I get it. So what if iPad OS 16 is even better? What if iPad OS 16, after having a year of staying in the office and working together, is better? I'm not saying it's going to be the one that flips the iPad market on its head, but every year it gets better. Hopefully, I'm begging that next year's iPad OS 16 thing is not an incremental little upgrade. I'm still banking for a Pro OS on the iPad. I know Christopher Lawley and Noah Herman talked about that in their video, but I think iPad OS should have its own Pro OS. How cool would that be for the iPad Pro to be able to utilize everything in it? I know the M1 in the iPad is not the craziest and best thing ever, and it's just kind of like a renaming of the A14X or whatever they're going to put in it instead of the M1. So, I get it. The M1 iPad Pro is not what everybody was expecting, especially with iPadOS 15. But what if it, instead of it being a value item with the next OSs, what if it just keeps getting better every year? What if it becomes, like I said, a second option? You know, you're a student, you just graduated high school, you're moving out, you're gonna need a computer, you're gonna need all of this stuff, but you just don't have that much money. You can buy an iPad Pro, 12.9 inch, Magic Keyboard, the iPad itself, 128 gigs of data, just Wi-Fi, no cellular, or 256 gigs of data, and you get that with the Magic Keyboard and the Apple Pencil. You get that on eBay, even this M1 one, okay? You get that one. Now you have your notepad that you can write with, you have a laptop, and you have a tablet. You have this, it's like almost like a 3-in-1, You get the paper-like screen protector or whatever screen protector that feels like paper. You get a pencil, you get the keyboard. You have this 3-in-1. You can write, you can take notes on it instead of buying a journal. You have all of your notes in the iPad itself, on the Notes app or whatever app you want to use. You have the Magic Keyboard. You can type essays, you can research, you can do all of this stuff. And then you have a tablet where when you're off, you're not in school, you just don't want to use your phone, you can have your tablet and just watch nice videos like this one. But on a laptop, yeah, it might be a little bit stronger, might have better processing power, better file management. But is it better enough to qualify getting that? But you won't have a tablet, you'll still have to buy paper notebooks. Again, if you're into paper and like that, please do that, because using a tablet for your paper is a stretch. But I really think that it's a better deal because it can save you money in the long run for the iPad. What are you going to be doing on the MacBook that you can't do on the iPad? If you are doing something on the Mac that you can't do on the iPad, please, yes, you need the Mac or MacBook or whatever. You don't need the iPad. But I believe as the iPad OSs get released year over year, that this gap between what the iPad and the Mac can do is just going to start shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. Like, you need to have multiple windows open at once. You need to have 18,000 PowerPoints open at one time. Your iPad can't do that, and your Mac can. Maybe next year they'll have better external monitor support. Maybe they'll have multiple window use instead of just 2 window and slide over. Maybe they'll have other things. But I believe right now that this isn't just a value product to go along with the Mac. This is going to be your second option to the Mac. Does that make sense? What do you need? Do you need the Crocs with the strap on the whole time? You need sandals? Or do you want something that you can relax in, and something that you can put in sports mode and just go to the races, So, but that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of it in the description below. Check out my other channels linked below, and I will see you in the next one.